What is going on out there, peeps? Could it finally be here? Could we finally be getting our so-called debt relief? Because it's being talked about. Oh yeah, the IMF and the countries have been talking about 100% debt relief. Yep, they've been talking about it. We all know they're also talking about universal basic income of about $2,000 a month. So could income support and debt relief be on its way? We'll see. I'll get your opinion on this. Look, you're going to need money outside of the system. That's for dang sure. I don't know if you guys want to do it or not, but I definitely don't want to go 100% digital currency because it's not going to be cryptocurrency. It's going to be the CBDC, which is a central bank digital currency. Not a big fan of it, and you shouldn't be neither. Because if the government has that much control over you, oh, there's no telling what they'll do. I see you need money outside of the city. Out of the system. Many people are talking about it right now, and I mean a ton. There are lots of people right now talking about taking regular currencies and keeping it somewhere in your house, and then in your community, you guys just agree to use it amongst yourself. We'll see where it goes, but you should have gold and silver always. So when you go to buy gold and silver, take into consideration our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you'll get a free half ounce of silver. You guys know I have this alternative platform. It is really starting to take off. A lot of people are getting into these videos. I know which categories you guys like the most, and so I'm posting more there. This category is big. The information from around the world is unbelievable. And as well as this category right here, there's going to be a huge announcement today. I'm looking forward to it. So, go over and check us out. It's a really good platform, and it has some very good information on there I'm sure you'll be able to benefit from. You guys know I got Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as this YouTube channel. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. It's free to join. The link is down below, so come on over there and join us, would you? All right. So there's this story about this email that got out, and I've heard both sides of people going, "Oh, this is real. This is not. This is real. This is not." So here's my thing. It was actually corroborated by two people in Parliament, and then all of a sudden, for some strange reason, they flipped their story. I'm starting to get the feeling that these politicians are not just compromised, but some of them are actually being threatened. Literally, their families, the whole 9 yards. To see doctors do what they're doing, to see that they're so complicit in this, what's going on, to see the members of Congress, parliaments around the world, these people come out and say, yeah, it's true, and then all of a sudden they come back looking scared to death. So you take with it as you will. So I'm sure the part that they're talking about has to do with this, okay? You're going to see what I'm talking about because it's deep. So anyways, it goes on to talk about the Liberal Party from Canada. A letter was leaked, so you can understand why this thing is a very touchy subject. So it's almost the same as that announcement that I had on the other video down on the other website regarding the UK. Now this is older. This is from October 2020. So only the people over in Canada are going to be able to say how much of this is actually true and how much of it is not. So here it is. So they're saying that, hey, we got a problem. We need to start shutting things down again. So you can see over here, it says, where are we at? So this proposal was given to the committee members, and when they read it, about 30% of them were not comfortable with what is being suggested. You can understand why. So here it is. It says the roadmap and aim was to set out by the PMO and is as follows. There it goes. So it says phase in secondary lockdown stage. So that's what they're going for, the restrictions. Doing it on a rollout basis, so it doesn't look like they're doing it all at one time. Okay, I get it. And that was expected in November 2020. And I do believe they did. They went through their second phase. Canada, you'll let me know. Should rush the acquisition and construction of isolation facilities across every province and territories. And they wanted that done. Now, if I remember correctly, listening to Trudeau talk about these isolations, but there are hotels for some parts while these facilities are being built. The use for these facilities are for those individuals who refuse to get the vaccine. They're just going to keep them in lockdown, is what they're proposing here. And they're saying this because they become a risk to the public. When the public's trying to get on, it's not fair for those who did get the vac and want to go out and be free, but those who didn't are keeping it from happening. You like how that works? They just play one group against another. It says daily new cases of the Rona will surge beyond capacity and testing, including the increase of the Rona-related deaths following the curve. Okay, they were expecting this. I don't know how they know that, but nonetheless, it's up there. It says a complete and total secondary lockdown, much stricter than the first and second rolling phase restrictions. And that's supposed to have started at somewhere around the end of December, but I think it actually went a little earlier again. It says December or sometime in January. Reform and expansion of unemployment program to be transitioned into universal basic income. There you go. So they're talking about doing the same thing here in the United States. They just go, oh, we're going to do this for you. So what they're doing basically is crashing the economy, stopping it, keeping you from going to work so that you go to them for money. And then since you can't really pay your debt, they're going to offer you debt forgiveness, 100%. So just like they're doing here in the U.S., they're expanding. What they did is they made it more, people made more money on unemployment than they would had they went to work. So who the hell does that? You know what I mean? No, they can make all the excuses in the world. People are either too dumb to figure it out, or, they need the money and they don't have no other choice, which is exactly what they want. Or you got to see this bigger picture. The fact that they're paying you more money than most people make, going to work, keeping you from going to work. If you're trying to open up the economy, you don't want to do that. You want to get them off unemployment. But no, you can understand why. They want them dependent on the government. That's how you get in socialism and communism. It says reform and expansion of the... Okay, I just said that. So it says projected Rona mutation and other co-infections and secondary virals. So we know that you got the UK version, the Delta version, the Limbato version, and it says leading to a third, which will have a much more third wave, which will have a much more higher mortality rate. So, and that's expected to start. I like how they have expected times. So, how do you know that? It says daily new cases and hospitalizations related to the deaths exceeds medical care facilities. That's not good. Enhanced lockdown restrictions. So they want to enhance them. Full travel restrictions. Got it. I'm hearing it. So if they're going to do this all to you, then of course they're going to they're going to offer you 100% debt relief. I mean, seriously, how are you supposed to go to work if they're locking it down? It says transitioning of individuals into the universal basic income program. So see, it is being talked there. It's being talked everywhere. It's worldwide, you guys, this whole event. Projected supply chain breakdown, inventory shortages. I spoke about that on my other platform, saying that they're, for some reason, destroying millions and millions of pounds of food because they want to starve you is what they want to do. So you'll be relying on it too much. A weak, divided nation will all take the knee sooner or later. You'll just be starving your kids, whatever. This is what we're allowing to happen. So they're magically expecting supply chains to break down, inventory shortages, large economic instability. Okay, I get it. Deployment of military personnel into major metropolises, areas, as well as major roadways to establish a travel checkpoints. Wow, man. Talk about going back to World War II. Restrict travels and movements. Provide logistic support to the area. Okay. So here we're getting over to the debt relief. This is along with the provided roadmap to a strategical planning committee was asked to design an effective way of transitioning Canadians to meet unprecedented economic endeavor, one that would change the face of Canada forever and the lives of Canadians. So what they were told was this: to offset what was essentially the economic collapse on an international scale, offer to eliminate all personal debt, mortgages, loans. See right here? So it says offer, that international off elimination. So the federal government will offer the elimination of personal debt, mortgages, loans, credit cards, etc., which all funding will be provided to Canada by the IMF under what will be known as the World Debt Reset. Now, I cannot find the World Debt Reset, but there's plenty of other names that cover this. So, they're getting ready to give 100% debt relief. Canada looks like you're the first ones to get it, but you're not the only ones. This is being pushed to all countries. If they're going to keep shutting down our economies and not allowing people to go back to work, then, you're going to have to help people out. You have to eliminate their debt. But wait, there's more. So in exchange for taking this debt relief program, just for you to be accepted of the total debt forgiveness, the individual will forfeit ownership of any and all property and assets forever. The individual would also have to agree to partake in a RONA VAC schedule, which would provide the individual with unrestricted travel and unrestricted living, even under the fully lockdown. So there's your 100% debt relief. But then you have to assign saying that you'll never own assets again. And, again, this is part of the Great Reset. Remember, the Great Reset said you'll own nothing and you'll rent everything and you'll be happy. Remember, that's what they said. Now, this is how they do it. If everybody's turning over all their assets, that's not good. But wait, there's more. Committee members asked who would become the owner of the forfeited properties and assets in the scenario, and what would happen to the lenders or financial institutions. We are simply told the World Debt Reset Program will handle all the details, so don't worry about it. Several committee members also questioned what happened to the individuals if they refuse to participate in the World Debt Reset Program and or the Health iPass. Well, now, they said the answer was troubling because it says, essentially, we were told it was our duty to make sure we came up with a plan to ensure that would never happen. In other words, that people would refuse. Now, look, there's some people that are so bogged down in debt right now, you'd be surprised what they would be willing to do. Seriously, they would. To get out from all their debt, they might go ahead and sign over all your personal property and assets. I mean, most poor people don't have a lot of assets, if at all. So there's nothing for them to lose. And rich people won't have a debt problem. They'll just pay it. So they want you to sign over everything. And in exchange, you will get your debt all paid off. But it's the committee, when they asked them, what about the people that resist? It says, well, we kind of hoping that didn't happen. But they go on though and they tell you what will happen. It said, essentially, we were told it was our duty to make sure that we came up with a plan to ensure that this would never happen. We were told that it was in the individual's best interest. What the hell? To participate. When several committee members pushed even further, of course, they were told that people would be transitioned into the debt forgiveness program, one way or the other. And the ones who refused to participate, they would be deemed a public safety risk, and they would be relocated into isolation facilities. And on the other hand, you would forfeit all of your assets if you do end up in one of these camps. So either way, they're going to end up with all your assets. So you can see right here, it says once in those facilities, they would be given two choices: participate in the debt forgiveness program and you'll be released, or stay in solitary. Yeah, that's a little crazy. Now, Canadians, is this being offered to you? I'm curious, because I know the IMF has talked about different types of debt relief programs. You know what I mean? Debt services, 100% debt cancellation for the IMF, 100% financing and debt services. So the IMF has put that out there before. But they're for mostly poor countries. But this here is specific. It's saying to individuals, you get it, which would make sense. But at what cost? You can see you have to sign over any and all personal assets. Period. And then also they're pushing us into, pushing Canadians into universal basic income. That's not good neither. But anyways, it is 100% total debt relief. Everybody's been talking about calling NESARA, GESARA, call it what you want. It is 100% debt relief. They tell you right here, you will qualify for 100% debt relief. With the catch, though. You guys let me know what you think. Again, they try to debunk this letter, but there's two people that came out. They said, nope, it's real. And then they came back with scarier looking faces and said that, they retracted what they said. So very interesting. We'll see. And I know if they're saying and if you go down or on one of the debunk pages, it says, no, the IMF is not offering any debt relief. That's not true. There's a ton of it. They are offering it. So trying to say that you're debunking this letter because the person said that IMF was handling it and you're saying that's not true, although they're sitting there offering you all kinds of debt relief programs. Anyways, you guys, that might be good news for some people, or say some people, and bad news for other. It just depends on the level of, how much are you willing to give up? Because these people want all your assets. So for most people, they don't even have assets, so there's nothing to lose. Plus, you have to commit to a regular regimen for the Rona. You guys let me know what you think. Give some feedback. I'll leave a link for this bad boy so you can come and check it out. Other than that, that's it for now. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.